What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Kamryn Talks video. Today I kind of just wanted to talk about how everything in the world is so small, basically, and so minuscule, and not forever. Everything will collapse, basically. And that sounds kind of dire or sad or whatever, that everything will collapse or won't be here, but it's also something beautiful in that. Like, if you think about Rome, for example, the Egyptians, those historical biblical communities like the Hittites, Jebusites, Canaanites, all of them, and how they were basically complete empires, like America is, like the United Kingdom is, basically places you today would think, oh, these will be around for forever. But they fell apart, and they're no more. They've some of them wiped off of the face of the earth, and people don't understand how, because they were so big at one second, and then they just seemed to vanish pretty much almost instantly. And while that seems kind of scary or sad or tragic or whatever, there's also beauty in it, because if you think about like the ego and the way that people act in places like America, like United Kingdom, like just basically first world countries, and how entitled everyone seems and everything like that, it's because we are given this bloated sense of everything's all right, nothing's gonna go away, we're fine, we're in America, like blah blah blah. The beautiful part about that is it can help you to break down your ego and not be like that. If you take a step back and be like, I really don't have to build up this empire. I don't have to make sure that my children or whatever, my house is super big so all that my children can live in it. I don't have to make sure that I have $1 million in the bank. It can be something that is a blessing, because it makes you realize that all sports teams that you invest all of your time and effort into, like, I know people who will literally sit on their couch or at their house all day, like every weekend, not just like one day, every weekend, and make a whole day out of dedicating it to their favorite sports team. And it's cool that people are doing that all together or whatever as a community. It invites people over, but it also, I think it makes people lose their sense of self whenever they put invest so much of themselves into things like their favorite sports teams, their favorite religion, their favorite whatever it may be. But whenever you think about how things will collapse, how everything will collapse one day, it will help you to be in the moment, like realize like none of this shit matters. Like, I mean, it all matters, but none of this shit matters to a point where you need to put all of your time and effort and energy into something, because 9 times out of 10 what that results in is it taking time, effort, and energy away from yourself. People don't work on themselves. People don't allow themselves to draw or doodle like they used to do in school, because it's weird for an adult to do or whatever. People don't allow themselves to have fun and dress up funny ways. People don't allow themselves to skip, to jump into a cannonball on the pool because they would look like a child or whatever. There's just random things. I might, obviously different people do different things as adults, but I'm saying, like, people would be more free if they really truly thought about how temporary everything is. Like, there's a lot of people who will invest all of their money into their land and their house and their children, into their children's sports, but none of them are happy, because they're all trying to build this tiny empire inside of an empire that we are basically already living in. America, I would say, is an empire of sorts. But this is happening everywhere. But if you look at smaller communities, like before Americans ruined the Native Americans who were here, it wasn't like that. It was community living. We all shared everything. It was all living in the moment. It was getting a kill for food, because that's how they had to eat back then. It was praying to the moon god, if they believed in a moon god in that specific community. It was praying for rain. It was all those things that you're doing, like praying for rain. Imagine, just think about how much in the moment that puts you. You were sitting there praying for rain, like the most simplest of things, rain. No one does that now. Like, we complain about everything. Like, if it hasn't rained in your community in a month or two, damn, it's so dry around here, we need rain, what the heck, blah, blah, blah. But there, like, back in the day, there was less complicated shit, like work and jobs and bills and new gadgets, new iPhones, new whatever. All those things are so complicated. We don't have time to pray for rain. We don't have time to do simple things like breathe and be in our heads in the moment. We're too busy trying to, if you're a young adult, not in a relationship, you're trying to impress other boys or girls, or you're trying to look like you don't want to impress other boys or girls, or you're trying to work on your muscles, or you're trying to, just look like keep up with a certain identity. But people, if they took the time out to realize how temporary this all is, we may be able to come to a place of peace, come to a place of comfort in our hearts, come to a place where we realize we don't need to impress everyone. We don't need to be better than everyone. We need to love everyone, and we need to build relationships with everyone that are strong, that are healthy, that are loving, that are teaching each other new skills, new practices, new blah, blah, blah. But instead, what the world has kind of taught us is to hoard our own skills. Oh, I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing that. Or, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't have time to teach him or her that because I could be making money at a job doing it myself or whatever. And it would slow me down if I brought them along with me or something along those lines. There's a million different examples out there. But what I'm getting at in this video, the point of this is just to realize how temporary life is, realize how beautiful life is, realize how much that modern day consumerism, capitalism, all the isms, religion, has kind of morphed all of us into being a certain way, and it's created such a social distancing. You wouldn't even like when COVID happened, we had the social distance and everything like that. But if you really think about it, we were already kind of social distance. Maybe not physically in our bodies, we would still be next to each other, but mentally we were social distance. We didn't socially involve ourselves with random people. Like, we had to know them. Like, we have to, unless it's online, people will talk to you online, but no one will come and talk to you in real life. Like, if you're sitting alone on a bench or whatever, I promise you 9 times out of 10, you're going to be sitting alone on that bench till your bus comes or till whatever, because no one's going to stop and talk to you. But if we get to a place where we realize how short and temporary life is, maybe we could appreciate every life, every single life that's on this temporary plane with us at this moment that we were given in life. And we could learn to love every single one of us and begin talking to random people on benches. Maybe put down our phones more. Maybe not buy that expensive new gear that we really want that would make our lives a little bit more better. But at the end of the day, it's just more garbage that's going to fill up the land that eventually we're going to be gone and not even be able to enjoy anyways. We need to learn to live more simpler, because life is short, life is simple. We don't need to make it this big extravagant thing. And I promise, however big your house is, however mighty your name is yelled across the land, if you're the governor, if you're the most loved person in your tiny city, if you're the most loved person in your big city, if you're the biggest artist on the earth, 9 times out of 10, it won't matter. We're not going to hear about it in 1,000 years. Like, think about, the Egyptians. There was probably very, very, very rich Egyptians. Like, we know about King Tut and the Pharaoh, Cleopatra, all that stuff, like, couple names. But there's probably people that were very wealthy, very well renowned, very loved in their communities. We don't know about them. We don't know where their house is. It still could have not been discovered. It may have rotted away in the ruins. So be in the moment, love yourself, love every person around you. Don't get too caught up in this game that they have made us all believe that we are meant to play, or we have to be better than this, or we have to do that, or if you're not, blah, 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 so on, so on. Go outside, enjoy nature, because that's all that really matters. People are wasting their times with so many small things. I want to do a video on video games and social media eventually, and talk about that in more depth. The amount of time that people have spent playing video games or on social media, if you could tally it up and look at the total number of hours or days total, it'd be crazy to think about how much time you've lost. So yeah, I'll get onto that on another video. I appreciate y'all watching this. If you watched to the end, I know it's a little bit of a ramble. I like these videos. I just started doing it last week, week before last. Kamryn Talks is what I'm calling this. Eventually, I'm gonna have my own channel dedicated to this, but for now, I'm sharing it with the Kamryn Walks channel. Again, if you're new, these types of videos will just be on Thursdays, and then next week will be Tuesday, and then the next week Thursday this. So basically alternating off and on. Kamryn Talks, Kamryn Walks, Kamryn Talks, Kamryn Walks, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. So you don't have to hear me do this every single week. If you're just into the random traveling videos or doing random things, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like if you haven't already. Comment something that you thought was interesting in this video, or if you have any opinions or beliefs on the same matter, I'd love to hear it. I'm open ears, I'm open-minded. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.